Okay, we're going. Good evening, everybody. We'll call this meeting of LAFCO to order. Today is January 22nd. It is around 6 p.m. If everybody could please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move on to, we'll start with the introduction of commissioners, and we'll start at this end.
Amy Bublak, city member.
Terry Withrow, county member.
Sue Zwollen, city member.
Bill Berry-Hill, public member, alternate, sitting in for Ken Lane.
Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer.
Sarah Lettle-Penny, Executive Officer.
Sean Whitehead, County Council.
Jennifer Vieira, Commission Clerk.
Very good, thank you. Okay, our next item here is a presentation, and we will maybe get Richard to come up here. Can we do that?
Am I allowed?
You are allowed to, come in the secret door over here. Come on up here.
I thought we changed that lock.
You did. I'm Irish.
Oh, you can figure it out. Is that what you're saying? Maybe you can't.
It's going to help him.
We don't have a mic, we don't have a handheld mic, so it's okay. All right, Richard, I'm gonna get you over here closer to me.
All right.
How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Good to see you. Okay, so I think probably for all the years that I've been on LAFCO, you've been on LAFCO, and what we have here is a plaque that said presented to Richard O'Brien in honor and recognition of your 7 years of dedicated service to the Stanislaus Local Agency Formation Commission, regular city member from 2021 through 2024, alternate city member from 2015, 2018, and 2021. So Richard, it's been an honor to serve with you, not only here, on StanCog, Stan RTA, just all the years. I've always very much respected your opinion and your approach to things, and we're just going to miss you. I just want to say we're really going to miss you and all that you've done for the community, basically, not only for Riverbank, but for Stanislaus County, for LAFCO, for StanCog, Stan RTA. You watched us bring in the collaboration and the reorganization of the whole bus system, and brought everybody in, except for Turlock, which we're still working on.
No, give it up.
But and a lot of these things were your ideas and things that you brought forward and pushed and made happen. And so again, I've always appreciated your opinion and how you do things, how you approach things, and we're just really going to miss your time here on LAFCO. And so enjoy your retirement. I know you'll still be involved in all kinds of things, but you will be missed. Know you'll be missed. So
Thank you.
congratulations and thank you for all you've done. And I want you to say something here.
I will.
You need to take over the mic.
I will.
You have to hold that.
First off, I want to thank the fellow commissioners. It's been a pleasure being up here with you. We haven't always agreed. You guys couldn't see it my way correctly. But, we did get along and we did move forward a lot. One of the things which I feel most important is that LAFCO is probably the premier board or commission besides the Board of Supervisors. It is above, I believe, any other board or commission because of the importance that LAFCO brings. It is the glue that brings everything together and allows us to grow in a very orderly manner, whether it's the way we do our highway systems or the way we grow with the municipalities or outside in the county. One of the things I tried doing, and we almost got there, was elevating the recognition of this commission above where it is. And we had it almost there, but I didn't realize how powerful your HR department was. So hopefully you'll still work on them with the Board of Supervisors concurrence, bring you up to where you need to be, the level of importance. I want to thank the staff and legal. Legal has got me to the edge a couple of times, allow me to get there, and then stop me from going over the edge. Sarah, Javier, thank you very much for your reports. And you have to read the reports because there was hidden in there many words that you have to look up because I was going to use a big word. I decided not to. But truly, I appreciate what you do, how you do it, and the way this commission has been operating. And to all the public, thank you for your inputs, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you all. Amy, I'm coming back with that brown bag.
A little alcohol to get me through the day. Appreciate that. No drink.
Okay, Richard, thank you very much.
I'm not done, I have to go to the staff.
Okay, we'll move on. Our next item here is going to be our public comments, a period of time where you can come up and talk about anything you'd like that's not on the agenda or items on the agenda but we'll hold those until we get to that item. And I've got a couple speaker cards here. The first one will be Milt Treeweiler. Milt, good evening. How are you?
Fine. Good evening, commissioners, staff, and publics. Milt Treeweiler. I'm a lifetime Stanislaus County resident. It's hard to figure out what's going on. In Stanislaus County, we've been given a Garden of Eden, and what are we doing? Are we going to turn it into a desert? We have a free will, and what do people do? They pursue the love of money. We have an intellect, and we have choices. And some people are choosing not to conserve the good things we have. We must be conservationists for our children and descendants, since they cannot do that for themselves. We all understand we must have clean air, water, and food, and yet we're not being good stewards. We're not conserving our resources. Please wake up for the sake of our children and our descendants. We humans think we're pretty smart. Each of us think we know what's true. However, no two of us agree on everything. You can fool the people, but you can't fool the laws of physics or mathematics. We're using up the resources that will be needed for our children and future generations so that they can survive. We are our children's ancestors, must work together to preserve the best farmland in the world that we have here in Stanislaus County. You also should be aware that in the next 15 years, California will need to fallow 900,000 acres of farmland in the San Joaquin Valley. There's just not enough water underground to irrigate it. Our TID and MID ancestors had a great foresight when they formed the first irrigation districts in the state in 1887. Today, we must save the best farmland in the world. It's worth the fight. I don't care where you go in the world, there's no prime farmland as good as the farmland we have here in Stanislaus County. This is because of the water, the soil, and the climate we have here in Stanislaus County. Unfortunately, there are people who want to make our county a bedroom community for the Bay Area. That's terrible. By working together, our children and descendants will look back and thank us for stopping the sprawl of Stanislaus County cities. Our cities can build up in their infill areas and not out, and by repurposing their blighted areas. Please, please wake up for the sake of our children and our descendants. We must save our farmland. Our farmland is so valuable because not just for the almonds, we can grow 249 crops here. We're going to be the only place that has water in 15 years, Stanislaus County. San Joaquin Valley, from Bakersfield to Sacramento, they're fallowing 900,000 acres of land. We need to save our farmland. Thank you.
Thanks, Milt. Okay, next speaker card I have is Jamie Agers. Jamie, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Commissioners. Jamie Yeager, 7730 McHenry Avenue, Modesto, California. That's within the unincorporated area of Stanislaus County and also within the proposed Riverwalk project area. But I'm here tonight to welcome Mayor Zwellen to the Commission and thank you for your participation and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jamie. Okay, those are the only two speaker cards I have. Does anybody else want to come up? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to correspondence. Do we have any correspondence?
There's no additional correspondence.
Perfect, thanks, sir. Okay, declaration of conflicts and disqualifications with regard to tonight's items. Are there any conflicts or disqualifications anybody wants to declare? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Is there anything that anybody would like to pull from the consent calendar? Okay.
Move to accept?
We have a motion to accept.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to, we don't have any public hearings tonight, and we'll move on to other business. Item 8A, 2025 Work Program, Municipal Service Reviews. Javier.
Good evening, Commissioners. In your packet this evening, you'll find our work program for 2025. The report lists our municipal service reviews that we completed in 2024. Also includes the municipal service reviews that staff will complete in 2025, which include Denair and Key CSDs, the county's healthcare and hospital districts, and the flood control districts. Last, the report also mentions staff efforts currently underway, which include St. Anthony's annexation to the city of Houston, review of the Riverwalk draft EIR, and review of the Copper Trails draft EIR, which is in the city of Ceres. This report is for your information, and we're here if you have any questions.
Very good. Thanks, Javier. Any questions for Javier? Okay. Any questions from the audience? Yeah, come on up. You do. Come on up. Milt will.
Yes, I'd like to address the Riverwalk project and Riverbank. Fortunately, I've had the opportunity to see the land that's there by someone who's taken me into that area. It is the best farmland in the world, and it's right there. And not only is that area the best farmland in the world, but it's also a floodplain. And you can't mitigate a floodplain because there are no other floodplains that can replace it. If that floodplain is not in that location, the next series of atmospheric rivers like we had in 1997, it could very well flood the first housing area on the river if we don't have the Riverwalk floodplain to absorb that. In other words, what a floodplain does when the water comes in rushing down the river, it gives an area for the river to expand so it doesn't flood into the housing just there in Riverbank. And that's something we really want to do. It's irreplaceable. There is no way it can be mitigated. It's impossible to mitigate it. So we've got to just think about that. We've got to think about our children. I mean, when I was out there, they were growing watermelons, a whole field of watermelons and other beautiful crops. It's got the largest cherry orchard in Stanislaus County, is right there in the Riverwalk area. These are things that are irreplaceable. They're things that our children and our ancestors will need if they're going to survive. And that's why you are here on this commission, to make sure that our children and our ancestors have food to eat. I talked about the fallowing of 900,000 acres in the San Joaquin Valley. That land is going to be out of production. Almonds in this area, plus all the other 249 crops we can grow, are going to become a scarcity. The prices of food is going to go way up. We need to preserve our farm. Cities, I know we have 2 cities here. We can do our infill. We have tons of room for infill in Modesto and in Turlock. We can grow up. I love the way Modesto has multi-story buildings. I remember when the Ralston Towers was built. That was outstanding. And people thought it was too large. That's perfect. You get a lot of people there, you plant trees around it, you don't even see it. We can really do a good job, and that is the responsibility of this commission, to make sure we have our farmland. You are the protectors of our farmland, and we want you to protect it. Thank you.
Thanks, Milt. Anybody else want to comment with regard to our work program, 2025 work program? Okay, seeing none. Anybody from the board, Okay, then I will look for a motion to adopt the 2025 work program.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Very good. Thank you. Okay, this next item, should we wait on this and come back when we get everybody here? Is everybody okay with that?
No, might as well just get it done. It's not, I mean, staff's already decided, I mean, how it usually goes, so I don't see it being, I mean, it's on the agenda, so.
Well, Sarah, I'm looking at you too.
Either way, the next eligible positions for chairperson and vice chairperson would be a city member and a county member, and we've acknowledged in there that we would be skipping the public member as the chairperson due to the fact that both our public members are up for their terms, and Ken Lane is not interested in being a public member again. So it's really up to the commission, but however, eligibility for chairperson would be either the city members, and then eligibility for vice chair would be either of the county members.
Perfect. Okay.
So, just one question here, because it's kind of weird. But, so when I did one meeting and then I was off, Ken would be coming on, well, I guess he could do meetings till May, I think is when it's up.
Yeah.
Is there any way that can be adjusted so the next people that follow us have their full opportunity to serve? I mean, I didn't give a lot of thought to how that would work, but something that's going to continue to be that way, right? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that the public member doesn't have a chance to chair if they so choose.
Yeah, we were looking at that with the way the schedule is. If it does get skipped this time, it would be quite some time before a public member would be eligible again, unless the commissioner chose, next year, say, to switch up the rotation in favor of a public member.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, the timing is odd, and state law, for whatever reason, has May as the date of the turnover for terms.
Yeah.
And I think we would have to actually look at updating our own policies and procedures to change that January timeline for the chairperson.
Okay.
So that might help a little bit at least, so that there's not somebody with an awkward, 3 or 4 month.
It's a bit of a disadvantage for the public member to they never have a chance to really serve. Because, I mean, I know in talking to Ken, and I was the same way, it's, well, you can be an alternate and still serve as the chair, but you can't vote, so that's kind of an awkward, weird deal.
Yeah.
So, something to think about. That being said, I'd like to nominate Amy Bublek to be the next chair.
Very good. I'll second that.
And can we just put the vice chair at the same time? Terry?
Sure.
Terry?
Nominated, so nominated?
Not a whole lot of options here.
Second.
Okay. So if everybody's good with that, we've got a nomination on the floor for Amy as chair and myself as vice chair for the coming year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I'm looking at Sean. Everything okay there?
Yeah, I think you said everything you needed to say. Anything about tracking, so we're good.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. And then, shall we move on to commissioner comments? Any comments from commissioners?
I'll just make a comment. I'm grateful to be here. I'm looking forward to serving on LAFCO and for the future of our region. Thank you.
We're glad you're here, Sue.
Thank you.
Okay, any, no additional matters as far as I'm concerned. Executive officers report.
Yes. Staff would also like to welcome Mayor Zwollen as our new city commissioner.
Thank you.
And we also learned recently that Mayor Lopez resigned as alternate, so we will be expecting a new commissioner, a new city alternate member in the coming month or two, depending on when that meeting lands. For February 26th, the commission will be reviewing an annexation application from the city of Houston. And we're also expecting an out-of-boundary service application from Keys Community Service District that will probably land, depending on when we get it, could be in the March meeting. And that's all I have.
Okay, very good, thanks, Sarah. I think that's it. This is a quick one, and we will get everybody hopefully back up here for the next meeting. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. This meeting is adjourned.